Hello everyone, it's nice to see you again. The problem is that despite everyone's worry, XRP may be sitting pretty as the secret weapon for these 15-minute cities that are cropping up everywhere. Crypto is currently having a full-on tantrum. Have you ever wondered what it's really like to live in one of these places? We're going to offer you the inside scoop today, so fasten your seatbelt. Okay, have a look at this. We're examining a current cryptocurrency market capitalization of $3.99 trillion. Indeed, we've dropped by roughly 2.8%, bringing us just below the coveted $4 trillion threshold. Ethereum is holding strong above 4,300. Bitcoin is still dominating at over 115K, and our guy XRP is sitting pretty at number 3, exactly at $3 even. We're down around 7% for the week, and about 4% for the last day. The problem is that I actually purchased that dip baby. Yes, I certainly did. I jumped in at about $2.97 after observing it fluctuate between $2.95 and $3.15. Though I wasn't crazy or anything, discipline is discipline, isn't it? When I saw my shot, it hit me like lightning. I'm simply like that. Look, I intend to stay in this for the long run. When opportunity presents itself, I seize it because I believe in what I'm holding. But keep in mind, folks, I'm just discussing what I'm doing, not offering financial advice. If you find this XRP update useful, please hit the like button. I can connect with more people in the crypto space because YouTube promotes the video to other XRP traders and investors who require these updates when you enjoy it. Let's return to the video now. Get this crazy stuff now. It appears like MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor are the targets of a concerted hit job that is currently taking place on social media. After all, the man already has enough drama. Yet, in real time, a Bitcoin therapist is exposing hired trolls, bots, and cryptocurrency influencers. When you consider it, this is very crazy, isn't it? Let's be honest, in essence, Bitcoin is a huge hype factory. Men like Corey Klippstein and Michael Saylor are actually paying people to represent Bitcoin. When you look at it from a distance, it's kind of absurd, but now they're crying over being smeared. Come on, guy. Or are people merely criticizing what they perceive that isn't that attractive? In any case, this is my opinion. Saylor is solely responsible if MicroStrategy collapses like a house of cards. Here's a brief but entertaining history lesson for you. The biggest loser in the dot-com crash was this guy. We are discussing a loss of $13 billion. Were you aware of that? B for 13 billion. The key question is if he has truly gained any knowledge, because he's still putting everything in one basket, as of the last time I checked. How will this tale conclude? Will our child Michael be in the dot-com bubble 2.0? These are the questions that keep you up at night, guy. I confess that I don't have a crystal ball. Don't misunderstand me. In fact, I believe that Bitcoin has a long-term future. Although I firmly think that nations will embrace Bitcoin, this does not imply that all Bitcoin plays are wise. You're entirely correct. BlackRock is heavily involved in the game already. You can tell that something is changing when you see these financial behemoths like BlackRock and Fidelity selling Bitcoin to its customers rather than just teasing it. Seeing the old guard finally say, okay, we're doing this, is like that. This is where it becomes dubious though. Corporate treasury as a whole. Consider it. These digital assets have the potential to completely fail. When things go wrong, we're talking about drops of 60, 70, or even 90%. Now, let's say your corporation opted to borrow against its cryptocurrency holdings after loading them up. You can be in for a whole catastrophe if you're not prepared for those heart-wrenching drops we've witnessed before. Therefore, it is correct to handle with utmost caution. Here's the opposite though, and this is where things start to get interesting. Perhaps we won't see those insane roller coaster rides anymore until we have some actual laws in place and these major financial players are everywhere, from cities to corporations to entire nations. Consider it. Perhaps the huge swings will be a thing of the past once you have that kind of institutional backbone and enormous stability. We cannot overlook the new dynamics that are undoubtedly taking place here. We must continue to monitor these changes as the entire landscape is shifting. In relation to that, have a look at what Jerome Powell recently revealed. Therefore, our primary responsibility with Bitcoin is to examine the banks. As long as banks are aware of and capable of managing the risks, we believe they can serve crypto consumers with ease. All is well and safe. That is what a sizable portion of the banks under our supervision and regulation do. For banks that are involved in cryptocurrency activity, the bar has been slightly higher. And the reason for that is because we don't want to make a mistake because they are so new. You want to be fairly certain that the activity is safe and sound if you decide to carry it out within a bank, which is covered by the federal safety net with deposit insurance. As a result, we're not opposed to innovation, but we also don't want to do anything that would force banks to fire legitimately existing clients. So let's get started. In fact, banks are embracing cryptocurrency services. That is undoubtedly taking place. Here's what happened over the weekend, but we're all anticipating those rate decreases as well. Flare Network's Hugo Fillion and his team discussed how investors might start making 4 to 7% a year simply by holding XRP. VedXO now made a good point. If I could earn more than that 4 to 7% simply by keeping my XRP, why would I want to lock it up? Yes, I completely understand their perspective. However, we must exercise extreme caution when using these new platforms. Although DeFi platforms are fascinating, they all have one significant flaw: the bridges that connect users to them. In retrospect, and I'm not criticizing Flare Networks in any way, I'm truly excited about what they potentially do and sincerely hope they succeed. More generally though, we must ensure that our platform avoids the same mistakes that others have made. On this one, I guess they think they have the answer. Whether they have or not, we're going to witness it on a grand scale. And to be honest, it will be quite thrilling to see. I'm particularly enthusiastic about the prospect of yield coming to XRP, because it has the potential to open up the largest sitting liquidity pool in digital assets that we've ever seen. That's what I really think. I'm eager to watch how everything turns out. Okay then, take this. If you can provide me with returns that are comparable to those of US bonds, I won't need to sell my XRP in order to profit. In essence, you're telling me that I can get some yield without having to deal with capital gains. There you have it, the key to becoming a lifelong XRP hodler. Oh, and Dan Fisher deserves some recognition. This man is Ripple's community relations manager, and he is simply amazing. Really, you should visit XRP Las Vegas if you haven't already met him for yourself. He's one of those folks you just click with right away, I promise. Dan then deconstructs these astounding figures. The network fee for XRP is approximately 0.0002 cents. I'm referring to spare change you might find under your couch cushions. Ethereum is acting at 40 cents, which is when it clocks in. On that network, you're likely looking at $40 when things get hectic. It's completely insane. Once more, the stars align perfectly when Bitcoin is at $2 for fees. Transaction times, ETH cruises at around a minute, while Bitcoin takes anywhere from 10 to an hour. XRP is destroying the competition in every way possible. I mean, is the destination of this train truly a mystery? Or perhaps we ought just let David Schwartz explain it to us. End-to-end texting before a payment is innovative, even though it's ridiculous, which is absurd. For example, you notify a bank that you wish to make an international payment when you visit them. How much will this cost me? You tell them. Well, we're not sure. What amount of money will be delivered? Well, we're not sure, since there isn't any messaging. Eventually something will emerge from the money, which is essentially shoved down a conduit. We ultimately had to repair the entire payment system. Additionally, I believe we developed RippleNet, a truly superior payment technology. I believe that the XRP ledger is a truly superior payment technology. There's a proverb that goes something like, "The world will beat a path to your door if you build a better mousetrap." We still have terrible payments, but we have 2 better mousetraps. Therefore, I believe that we have the technology to enable any financial institution in the world to settle with any other financial institution in a compatible jurisdiction for less than a penny in a matter of seconds. Just consider this. Consider it. Isn't it brilliant? Every bank could use this for literally less than a dime. They are profiting greatly from the friction inherent in the previous system, which is the only reason they haven't made the changeover. Well, with new laws going into effect, all of that is going to be completely upended. That's precisely why this domino effect is currently occurring all around the world. Japan just approved a stable coin that is pegged